Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be predicting tomorrow's content drop here in NBA 2K25. My team, and spoiler alert, I think it's going to be Halloween themed. Last year, 2K did a freaky content drop, and I believe they actually dropped it on Halloween last year. But as I record this video on Wednesday night, I have no news whatsoever about a Halloween content drop dropping. This video will drop pretty early Thursday morning, so if we get any sort of Halloween content, y'all know I got y'all covered with videos about that later on today. But for this video, we're going to be predicting the content drop for this weekend. Before we hop into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, tons of consistent daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. And without further ado, my Amethyst prediction is very, very simple. It's the same prediction I made last week. I'm going to probably continue to predict him every single freaking week until he drops, because in all honesty, I don't care. And he's the Amethyst I want. DeAndre Ayton, please drop this card as soon as possible. He is the only true, really good budget center in these Amethysts that has the potential to be a very good big for a while. He can shoot decently, really solid slasher, and good finisher around the rim. Super solid defender, 80 speed as well, 92 rebounding. He would be an incredible budget big off Rise Up and Paper Patroller. This is the Amethyst I want, plain and simple. There are other guys who could drop, I'm sure, and I wouldn't mind like a Darius Miles or Kawhi or Herb Jones or even an Amethyst KD, although I'm sure that card's not that good. I think Chris Morris is pretty good. There's some solid Amethysts in here, but the one that I want is 100% DeAndre Ayton. So honestly, I'm probably going to predict him every single freaking week until he drops, because I don't care. Plain and simple. Next, on to diamonds. I don't have specific diamond predictions this week, but I am going to go through here and kind of talk about some names that I could see us dropping. I think for a freaky drop, there is no real correlation, I think, to the cards that drop and what they are. But when I think freaky, one thing I will say that I do think about is tall. And so that to me makes me think, number one, taller point guards. So a Michael Ray Richardson, who's 6'5", he's a decent option that would kind of make some sense to me. Nobody else on this first page jumps out to me as a real option as a diamond hidden gem. Maybe it's wishful thinking with Michael Ray and with some of these other tall point guards, but they've been dropping a lot of really good diamonds, so I wouldn't be shocked to see a tall point guard diamond drop soon. Nobody on page 2 really jumps out at me. On page 3, Jonathan Isaac, obviously another really good diamond. He's 6'10", exceptional defensively. Would make a little bit sense as a freaky drop in his own right, as he is kind of Giannis light to a certain extent in certain ways. Another thing that jumps out at me is tall centers. While I don't think Roy Hibbert is great, he is a bit slow with only 47 speed. He's very tall at 7'2". Wouldn't be totally shocked if he were to drop. But I think this promo could very much revolve around height to a certain extent. For example, Tom Gugliotta, he's freaky athletic, 6'10", and at small forward as well. So he's tall and he's freaky athletic. He would kind of make sense to me as a diamond they could drop tomorrow. That's another name who kind of jumps out at me as a potential candidate. Nobody on this page really looks like a big option to me. I will say another guy who does make a lot of sense would be Rick Smits. Again, I don't think he'd be great. He can't shoot threes, and he's not fast with the 55 speed, but he is 7'4". So again, fits that freaky tall mold that I'm kind of talking about. Michael Carter-Williams, 6'6" point guard, awesome defensively. This would be an elite card, a card that I would love to see drop. And again, one of those guys who is a very tall point guard that could, again, fit that freaky mold. Outside of that, I'm sure there are a bunch of other diamonds in here that would fit. Larry Nance, another 6'10" small forward with a ton of defense, another really good diamond, would also make a lot of sense to me, because they seem to be dropping pretty good diamonds on a weekly basis. Even Joe Smith, same thing, 6'10" small forward, a lot of size, really good card. It would be a great diamond that would entice people to open packs first and foremost, and second of all, would fit that freaky tall kind of mold. This is the card that, while I hope he doesn't drop, makes perfect sense. A 6'10" point guard, Ben Simmons. Now, he can't shoot at all. This card would not be OP because of his lack of shooting ability, but he would be very, very good because of how glitchy he is size-wise and how awesome he is defensively. Would he be a elite-level competitive point guard? Honestly, I'm not totally sure. I think that kind of remains to be seen. But I do think Ben Simmons would make a lot of sense fitting that freaky mold, and I would not be shocked at all to see him drop. In fact, I think he's the one to me so far that makes the most sense of the cards that could drop. And as I say that, my Elgato cuts out. 1 second, y'all. I'll be right back. All right, moving on. We got our Elgato fixed. Hopefully it will not glitch again this video. But looking through the rest of these diamonds, nobody really honestly jumps out the page at me for the most part from these names. Lonzo Ball, another tall point guard, would make some sense. Again, though, I think Ben Simmons is probably the most likely one. Diamond Ralph Sampson, if he hadn't just gotten an Amethyst card within the last week, I would say he makes sense. Or sorry, an Emerald card, but I think he got an Emerald either last week or the week before. So he just got a card. So to me, I don't think his diamond makes a ton of sense, but again, he's 7'4", so fits that similar mold. And then, I mean, a Tony Kukoc, 6'11", small forward, again, very tall at his position, would make a lot of sense. Outside of that, I'm not sure there's anybody else in here who really makes a ton of sense to drop. Maybe Danny Ferry at 6'10" as well would make a certain amount of sense. But overall, I think those are the main diamonds that I look at for tomorrow that make sense for the drop. And you know what? We will have to wait and see whether or not I'm right about any of those guys or not. I would love to see like an Alex Caruso drop. I think he's very good. But overall, I just don't see any other names that make a ton of sense anyway for this type of drop. I guess Mark Eaton, another tall big, similar to Rick Smits and Ralph Sampson, is 7'4". He would make a lot of sense to drop. Josh Giddey, 6'8" PG, is another name who does kind of jump out. KP's diamond isn't particularly great, but again, 7'3". So it's fitting that height mold for this drop, I would say, and that's kind of my projection for those diamonds. Now, I do have more clear pink diamond predictions. I have two very clear ones that kind of jump off the page at me as like, these are the guys we will definitely get. And then one who isn't quite in that same mold of elite level size. But that one right here is Rudy Gay. The reason I say Rudy Gay is because they've just been dropping elite level pink diamonds every single week, and this card would be exceptional. 99 offensive ability, 94 defense, 93 ball, 95 driving dunk. He's got a diamond as well. I could see his diamond coming, but I think his pink diamond makes a ton of sense. Really good defender, high speed, high agility, 95 vert. Awesome card. Really great release. Half handles for days. Elite slasher. Always an amazing card in my team, and I think this pink diamond Rudy Gay would be that as well. Only 7 Hall of Fame badges as well. Could certainly be coming soon, and I think he's the prediction for me of the diamond there, the pink diamond that doesn't fit that similar freaky height mold, but is a really, really good card and a very exciting card. So again, fits that mold of an exciting big name drop for tomorrow. Now the other two guys, and we see one of them on this screen, I hope he doesn't drop, but I think he's coming tomorrow. Pink Diamond Victor Wembanyama. I hope this card doesn't come. I really don't. He'll be the best center in the game for quite a while. He's going to be exceedingly expensive and tough to get. Will create even more of a pay-to-win aspect to this game than it already has. But I'm going to be totally honest with y'all. I think tomorrow's the day we get Wemby. They've just been not caring as much about pacing this year, and so I think Wemby's coming earlier than ever. And he's 7'4". He is the alien. He is the freak, the unicorn. I guess KP's technically the unicorn, but he is that out of this world freaky type player who fits the Halloween mold absolutely perfectly. Makes total sense for this drop, and I think Pink Diamond Victor Wembanyama is coming tomorrow. And if and when he does, he will be the best center in the game for the foreseeable future. An absolutely exceptional card with no real flaws. At 7'4" at the center position with a great release as well. He will just be insane. And then the last pink diamond that I do think is going to drop, and I forget what page he's actually on, so I got to find him, but it is right there. Found him, page 7. Pink diamond Magic Johnson. I hope this card doesn't drop either. It's the same type of thing with Wemby with Magic, is that he just has so much size and is going to be such a glitchy card and such an annoying card to play against that, again, I don't really want him to drop. But at 6'9" at point guard, the most famous tall point guard in NBA history, and again, likely, despite not having an incredible release, nor in all likelihood incredible SIGs, one of the best point guards in my team, would be a total card that makes total sense. He's got a lot of silver and bronze badges, which tells me again that there's a good likelihood this card is coming pretty soon. I just think he makes the perfect sense for this set, just like Pink Diamond Victor Wembanyama does. And those two guys, to me, seem like the no-brainer guesses for pink diamonds for tomorrow's drop. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope we don't get Wemby or Magic. But those are my two predictions, as well as Rudy Gay for pink diamonds. And then with diamonds, I gave you all several more names, but I think Ben Simmons is probably the one diamond that makes the most sense to me as coming tomorrow as well. And I would not be surprised. I would honestly be surprised if we don't get Magic or Ben tomorrow. And unfortunately, I think I'd be surprised if we don't get Wemby either. I hope I'm wrong. We'll just have to wait and see. With that being said, that's going to do it for this video. Hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.